What's up, everyone? This is Fang Slasher VA here, coming at you with a new video. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about what I personally want them to do for a Sonic Frontiers sequel. Now, obviously, Sonic Frontiers was a step in the right direction for them. It had some great ideas, although there's definitely some areas that definitely needed to have a bit more time in the kitchen. So hopefully they've learned from that, and hopefully they will. I don't want them to rush out the sequel too fast. So naturally, because of Sonic X Shadow Generations being so successful, and the Shadow Generations portion of it, pretty much improving upon what Frontiers did, it does give us a good idea on what a Frontier sequel could be. Now, obviously, the difference between Frontiers and Shadow Frontiers is quite obvious. In Frontiers, you are in a more bigger open world. Of course, they call it a open zone. With Shadow, you are basically in a hub world. Think of almost like a Sonic Adventure-esque hub world. It's basically a open zone, but it's not as open because you are only confined to the white space, and that's it. The other difference is that while Sonic Frontiers does have levels based on previous levels of the past, they're more inspired by. They're not full-on remakes. While with Shadow Generation, they're all remade levels. So that is the one thing that they are going to need to think about, is if they do bring back the cyber stages. Of course, it might not be called that. They have two routes they can go with. They can bring back some of the older levels, or they can give us what everyone's been complaining about, which is leave those legacy levels in the past, unless they do some sort of game that needs them, or a remake, or a remaster of those games. I mean, it's great that they remade some levels in Sonic Generations and Shadow Generations, but we need new levels again. Instead of having another Green Hill Zone, another Chemical Plant, another Emerald Hill, another Sky Sanctuary, another City Escape. You guys get what I mean. And I definitely do agree with people there, even though I personally think that there are other levels I would want to see them remake, just to see what they could do with to see how they could change it up. But I do agree that it's time we get a 3D Sonic game that has new level ideas. The last time we got something like that was Sonic Forces, but that game wasn't 100% new levels. There were some remade levels in there, like Chemical Plant, Green Hill. So the last true Sonic game we got with actual new levels was actually Sonic Lost World. And so it would be nice to see that again. As for side quests, I want to see more variety of side quests. I don't want it to be the same thing, because, even though I can still play Sonic Frontiers easily, it does become a bit too much during the final two islands of dealing with the same side quests over and over again, and the same enemy encounters, and the same, I guess, mini bosses, if you want to call them that, in the open zone. So That's something else I would want them to do. Another thing is add more. Don't have as many open areas with nothing to do. Make sure to at least have something there. Like maybe bring back awesome chaos emeralds to hunt for them in a, how to word this. Maybe do something like I hope I can get uh do something similar to Green Hill Paradise, that famous fan game. Make it to where you can collect awesome chaos emeralds in the open zone, and then you can become supersonic. And if they want to put a step further, granted, I don't think we will ever see hypersonic again, unfortunately. Um, Take it one step further and maybe take it to Angel Island if it's in this proposed game, and then they become the super emeralds like in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and then you have to search for the super emeralds and become hypersonic. That gives gamers more things to do. They can even incorporate, maybe you may not be able to do the same without supersonic. So it becomes a, not only do you have it to transform into anytime you want, but it also becomes incorporated into the game itself, because supersonic has either been incorporated as for boss fights or just for something that you can unlock and just to get through a level faster. They can easily combine the two ideas into one thing. And I figured that could be a good way of doing it. If any of you have a better idea on how they can do that, you guys can comment that down below. One other thing that they definitely need to do is have multiple playable characters. I'm not talking about in the same level as I'm not talking the same level as Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. I'm talking like maybe do it more Sonic 06 style, to where you have 3 separate stories, 3 separate characters, or just make it to where you just have the 3 separate characters. So what they can do is, have it be Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. I know that some people may want Shadow, but I think we've gotten enough Shadow lately, you guys. I think it's Tails and Knuckles' turn to have their moment in the spotlight. And this is coming from someone that voices Shadow and has a channel that is dedicated to him. And what they can do is for Tails is let him be able to fly the tornado. Let him be able to upgrade it. Let us be able to unlock the other variations of that iconic plane, to where you can have the Tornado 2 from Sonic Adventure 1 and have it be able to transform into the jet mode. Or maybe have the one from Sonic Adventure 2 and have the Cyclone become its mech form. And if they really want to go with the fan service, bring in the X Tornado from Sonic X. Now that would be cool. That would be awesome. And then for his stages, well, incorporate his flying. Incorporate his own spin dash abilities again. Incorporate his own speed. There's so much you can do with Tails level. You can have different pathways for him. As for Knuckles, same thing. Have him be able to hunt for things, because he is a treasure hunter. Maybe you do have to get the Emerald Shards again, which would kind of annoy me, because it's like, Knuckles, why do you... Okay. Or, just let it be, just allow him to be able to adventure and find treasure and punch things, but also incorporate classic Sonic level design. Um, and it doesn't just have to be Tails and Knuckles. They can incorporate, if they want to, they can have it be 4 playable characters and let this essentially be a 3D, like a full 3D Sonic Superstars situation, and have Amy involved. So yeah, definitely playable characters. One other thing is, in terms of the boss fights. The boss fights weren't too bad in Sonic Forces. They were good, but again, much like a lot of things in and not Sonic Forces, Sonic Frontiers. Unlike most things in Sonic Frontiers, sometimes the boss fights do get kind of repetitive. I would like to see a variation of boss fights again. Let us take it back to the Eggman vs. Sonic stuff. If they want there to be some sort of ancient thing that Eggman yet again is trying to mess with, like he always does, and gets it blown up in his face, do it. If you want to take it to a more, Mephiles style plot and have a character that is completely on his own side and is not on Eggman's side or anyone's side, they can do that. But if they do incorporate Eggman, I definitely want to see Sage involved, and I want to see Metal Sonic involved more. Enough with this. Enough with this incorporating him as sort of side thing, like in Sonic Colors Ultimate, or just a boss fight when it comes to Sonic X Shadow Generations. Let him be involved with the plot. I'm not saying get rid of Orban and Cubot. I'm just saying incorporate our favorite robotic Sonic into it more. And speaking of which, bring back Mecha Sonic from Sonic 3 and Silver Sonic from Sonic 2. And let them be involved. That would be cool. But overall, I would be just fine. I would be just fine with the traditional Metal Sonic. In terms of side content, I would like to see some sort of garden, some sort of virtual pet garden, and I'm just going to say it. I want there to be a Chao Garden again. I want them to really improve on what Sonic SA2 did. I think there's so much more that they can do with it nowadays. They can create some new character Chao types. They can actually allow us to make a Tails, Knuckles, and Amy Chao without needing, PSO2 or some sort of other way of getting them. Allows to create other character Chao, like Ruth, or a Metal Sonic Chao. And before anyone says, well, they can't do that because those Chao exist. In Sonic Speed Simulator, they do have other character Chao in it. And they look good. So they can do that. Stop making Chao be these cute, adorable things that only exist for, in my opinion, for fan service, and that's it. That's what made Sonic Adventure 2 so great, was that you could play through the story, and then you could take a break and play through the Chao Garden. And plus, you're still earning emblems, because there's emblems you have to get with doing the Chao Garden. So really, you're not wasting time to waste time. You're still progressing. And that's something else they could do. Bring back the emblems or something like that. Allow us to feel rewarded if they do bring back the Chao Garden. But don't bring it back just to don't bring it back and not improve on things either. Because if that's the case, then you might as well just not do it at all. And in terms of the plot, it's like I said with the balls encounters. allow there to be either a ancient evil that gets unleashed, and maybe it gets awakened because of what happened the in Frontiers, and it starts trying to collect all 7 Chaos Emeralds, which is why you have to, or maybe, it's the reason why Knuckles has to go and find the Master Emerald Shards. Now, some people might say that sounds like chaos. Well, it's going to be a lot worse, actually. If they do it right, they can. I know it sounds like chaos, and I guess you can say I am using chaos as a little bit of inspiration for this, but there's ways they can do it and make it cool. Allow the Chaos Emeralds be a part of the plot again, but again, make us earn them. And allow us to use them. In like levels and all that, or in the open zone. In terms of other side content, they definitely do need to give us some sort of online mode. Nah, I'm kidding. We don't need that. We got Sonic Rumble for that. Some other side content is obviously, there would be some sort of music jukebox. There would be character. There would be some sort of art that we can see in the game. The more we play, because that they're gonna have red rings that we can collect. And stuff like that. Now, some other things that they can do with the main game is, which is something that was introduced in Frontiers, is allow us to upgrade the characters. And not only that, allow us to have full customization for them. So, like, for example, for Sonic, you can give him his Rider Shades, but have him have the SA2 soap shoes. Or you can have or you can have modern Sonic wear classic Sonic shoes. Or B, they can end the debate and allow people to choose between long krills or short krill Sonic. Knuckles, same thing. Allow us to customize the characters the way we want, and maybe put some fan service type stuff too, to where give Sonic his biker look from that promo art. And I'm totally saying that just to have an excuse to say that, Evil Sonic from the Archie Sonic from the Archie comics is basically playable. Since in the Archie comics, as most of you probably know, Scourge, before he became Scourge, was known as Evil Sonic, and he wore this outfit that Sonic wore in this promotional art of him basically dressed up as a biker, and he looked sick. Or give us that look that we know that Sonic's from the OVA. Let Knuckles have his hat. There's so much stuff that they can do with the customizing for the characters. It's insane. Now, what I don't want them to do is to change the game. Now, I'm only basing this off the fact that we have Shadow Generation and Sonic Frontiers, so naturally they could change up the game on us and make it a different gameplay style. Hopefully they don't, but it would not shock me, because as soon as Sega starts getting comfortable with something, they always change it. And it annoys me too, because that's why they always end up having issues. One other thing that I would like to see is, I'm only saying this if it doesn't become like a Sonic Hedgehog 3 situation with a few of the songs not being used, is allow Crush 40 to write the music for the game. or at least the main theme. Crush 40 means a lot to us Sonic fans, and this lawsuit that was going on, no one knows what's going to happen with Crush 40 now. I hope it doesn't become like a Sonic Hedgehog 3 situation with Ice Cap Zone, because I don't want that. It'd be weird not having Crush 40 a part of Sonic anymore. I mean, June will always be a part of Sonic, but it's like, it's like Axl Rose and Slash, right? It's like you gotta have Johnny and June for it to be Crush 40. Oh, and one other thing about this game that they need to do is bring back all of Sonic's abilities. Allow him to boost. Allow him to spin dash. Allow him to drop dash. Allow him to do the ring dash, but also the the freaking attacking version of it, where you charge up and then you can attack them. I forgot the name of it right now. And also too, just so this way people don't complain, bring back momentum, but don't leave out the boost, because I think this game could really prove my point that combining the SA1 and the SA2 gameplay along with the gameplay from the modern games could work. Because to me, right, is that the thing that a lot of the Sonic Adventure fans like to complain about is the boosting mechanic. But as a Sonic fan, it's like that makes sense for him though, because it's like he should be able to boost. He should be able to go at those high level speed. I mean, he's called the fastest thing alive. So, but maybe make it to where you can't always use the boost. It's maybe it's one of those things where we've gotten so used to using the boost. Allow us to actually learn how to use it in the correct way in this new game. To where maybe you may not be able to use it. Maybe this turn is too tight to use the boost. There's ways that they can do it. And I do think that while my ideas could definitely work, there are probably other ideas you guys can think of that could probably be better than mine, so definitely let me know down below. Now, in terms of the IDW characters, they should definitely be involved. Not as playable characters, but at least as maybe part of the story. And the two that they should do first is Tango and Whisper. And I know the perfect voice actress for Whisper, because she's known for playing shy characters. And that is Inata's voice actress in the dub. She would have the perfect voice for her. 100%. And then Tango, the one I'm thinking is bring in Kara Edwards. She's known for playing feisty, upbeat girls. She voices Videl. So why not? I think I'm getting Videl's voice actress name right. Let me double check on that. Yes, I am correct. But yeah, you guys, that's it for this video. I hope you all enjoy it. Let me know what your thoughts down below. And as always, I'll make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and hit that bell button. And as always, I'll see you all in the next video. Later.